I've got a guest on hold, and apparently, whenever I bring guests on the show, then everything goes haywire. This is a musician who has actually sent me some music a while back and has been listening to the show for a while, and I checked it out, and I'm a musician too, so I definitely like to have musicians on, especially if they are standing up for truth. We've got with us Aquanaut. Aquanaut, are you with me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Your name's Frank, right?
Yes, it is, Frank McKeever.
Okay, Frank, well, why don't you go ahead and tell people how you got into basically some of the issues that are behind some of your songs now, which are very political and tackling the 9/11 subject and all that.
Yeah, they definitely are. Well, first of all, let me thank you for having me on the show, and I'd like to thank you for standing up for the truth as well, man. We definitely need more people like you out there in the country, so thank you very much for that.
No problem.
I basically got into it. I really wanted to impact people and inspire people the same way I've been impacted in my life. My genre is rap rock, and there's not really a whole lot of rap music out there right now that is aimed politically. Everything is nonsense that is talking about drugs and violence. So I just wanted to make a little bit of a different genre, open up the eyes of the American people, and do something that was going to benefit the Americans and the citizens.
Well, that is definitely good. I really appreciate what you're doing because, I mean, a lot of people make music and a lot of people have fun making music, but for the most part, musicians, especially here of late, aren't really too political. It used to be, back in the 60s, there were a lot of political songs, but now it seems to fade away. So I know Mike Narr from Polygraph Radio has really been trying to get a bunch of people who are truth musicians who are actually speaking out to be recognized. And so that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, because I definitely appreciate what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you definitely get a lot of heat when you're talking about politically charged songs, because I do shows live as well, and some people don't react to it the way you want them to react to it.
Yeah,
but it's all
that's
about
true.
Opening up people's eyes. You got to reach out to the ones that are going to understand you and that are going to listen to you.
Well, I mean, then tell me, did you have some trouble when you started speaking out about it? Did you have any trouble with your friends and family about the content?
Well, my friends and family pretty much agree with the content. However, I played a show in Cleveland a couple of months ago, and I had people coming up to me after the show saying they didn't appreciate my thoughts on it and how 9/11
Really?
was terrorist activity, and how I was completely against my country and I wasn't patriotic by the music that I'm making, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's actually the opposite.
No doubt about it. Well, that's what I'm talking about. It takes courage to do that. And for the most part, musicians are laid back and they don't really want to ruffle too many feathers. And when they start getting flack, I've been in a situation where that's happened to me too. And when you're actually getting somebody coming from the crowd to tell you, hey, I don't appreciate that. For a lot of musicians, they can't handle that whole thing, that whole rejection. And, it's a complete turn off, so they don't even get into it. But I commend people like yourself who are actually brave enough to do that. Now, I want to say one thing. I did find out that the video stream over at 33rd Parallel TV, even though we've got it working tonight, apparently there are phantoms in the machine and the audio is not working. So you can listen to the show at revereradio.net. Apparently it's working fine, feeding to them, but something on my end is screwed up. I'm going to try and fix that tonight. So let's get back to some of your music. When did you first take the plunge and decide I'm going to write a song about 9/11?
I actually wrote the song about 2 months ago. I've actually only
Wow.
been recording and doing live shows for maybe 6 months. I've been writing for maybe 2 years, and that song was pretty much just based on my beliefs. The original song that I wrote that kind of broke me into it was for my grandmother that passed away about 5 years ago, and then I wanted to get more into my ideals and beliefs on the system. I actually wrote another song as well, which is about the New World Order, which you may be interested in checking out as well. And I wanted to encourage all the listeners, too, if they like the song, they can check out the MySpace page, which is myspace.com/Aquanaut Music. And that's Aquanaut, AQUANAUT, music. Several different songs on there about the RFID chip, New World Order, Illuminati, Obama's deception, and so forth.
Well, I think that's a pretty interesting name, too, Aquanaut. How did you come up with that?
I've always been obsessed with scuba diving. Back in 2005, 2006 during college, I had someone say, "You're just such an aquanaut," and it it stuck. That kind of became my nickname. So when I went into music, that kind of transferred over.
Excellent. Well, we've got a song here, and I apologize to the people listening to the video stream. I saw in the chat room where you can just turn up the Revere feed and you can still watch the video, but it's kind of pointless as far as the video tonight, so I apologize again about that. I think it will be fine in the archive, and if not, hopefully we're going to be taking care of that otherwise. But I do have a song here, and why don't you set this up? This is called Organized War Crime.
Yeah, this is called Organized War Crime. This is about 9/11 being an inside job. Basically, the chorus says, you know that this won't get played on the radio, because I feel that if it were to ever get popular, I feel that the media would down talk it and never play it. So it's a good song in my opinion. Like I said, I just wrote it about 2 months ago. It has a lot of meaning to it, a lot of depth.
Well, that was one of the reasons why I decided, because a lot of people send me songs. I've got, met a lot of musicians through this, and when I heard that line about, this is not going to get played on the radio, then I thought, well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's play it on the radio. So
yeah, it's kind of defeating the system now, isn't it? We've got to take the course.
That is right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is Organized War Crime by Aquanaut. Hopefully this will work. There we go.
At 8:42, United Airlines took off from Newark, New Jersey, Liberty International Airport, bound for San Francisco. The aircraft was piloted by Captain Dahl, First Officer Leroy Homer. There were 5 flight attendants, 43 passengers, including the hijackers.
We need a puzzle ball, cause the world's gonna fall, gonna collapse like a trap. That's why I rock to fill the empty cap. Open up your mind and see the sense of time. The organized war crime. Despite it being everyone's fear, this is something that the whole world needs to hear. And you can pick up your phone, call on your cell, tell your friends all hell. It's a guy saying 9/11 was an inside job done by the Bush mob. But open up your mind, maybe you'll see the sense of time. The plan devised how no one realized. Bush rising to the altar, pledging we shall falter. America showing time after time, burning, wishing the shit collapse from the heat. But you and I both know jet fuel can't burn that degree. And you know this shit won't get played on the radio. Cause every talk show host and every presidential vote will say it's a crazy kid with a temper of dismay. And you know this shit won't get played on the radio. Cause every talk show host and every presidential vote will say it's a crazy kid with a temper of dismay. But that's not how it is. This whole democracy is full of crazy kids. Cause they know exactly what happened on the night we lost them all. And they call like the telephone call. Bush the king is nothing more than a puppet on a string. Did you hear what happened? It was the Midwest. We need to make an arrest and put them to the test. Haven't you heard the story of lies? How the open I can simply defy. Going to desert soil, turbo oil. Those who don't realize our rising gold foil. Open up your mind and see the sense of time. The organized war crime. And you know this shit won't get played on the radio. Cause every talk show host and every presidential vote will say it's a crazy kid with a temper of dismay. And you know this shit won't get played on the radio. Cause every talk show host and every presidential vote will say it's a crazy kid with a temper of dismay.
All right, there you have it. Organized War Crime by Aquanaut. That rocks, man. I definitely appreciate you sending me that song, and I really wanted to give you a chance to get it played on the radio.
Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate that.
Why don't you, now you are doing shows. I heard you say you just started doing shows.
Mm-hmm.
And where are you out of? Where could people, if they wanted to come check it out?
I'm based out of St. Augustine. Most of my shows here in St. Augustine are going to be at the White Lion and also the British Pub. I have a show coming up from Cafe 11, but I don't have the set date for that. Like I said, if people just keep checking the MySpace page, again, it's myspace.com/aquanautmusic, you'll be able to follow my upcoming schedule, and also you can check out the song, which is called Rise and Fall, which is about the Constitution and how we need to defend it and protect our civil liberties.
Absolutely. Have you checked out the Polygraph Radio yet? Are you aware of that?
No, I am not.
You should definitely check it out. Mike Narr, who is from We Are Change New York, is doing Polygraph Radio, and they get together tours of people who are doing truth music, and I really think that you would fit right in there. So you might want to try and get in touch with Mike Narr and